5 years ago, I couldn't walk so far as the bathroom without hurting. My arms and legs were on fire with a neurological disorder that left me bedridden. So what did I do? I started dreaming. I calmed my nervous system in a peaceful meditation and then invited visions of the future that I wanted to step into. Sounds a lot like priming, right? Inspired by Dr. Joe Dispenza's Healing Himself, I saw myself jogging at a local park. I saw myself paddling at a nearby lake, and I imagined how it would feel to move effortlessly through a cool, damp morning. My heart sang. Over time, my dreams grew, and I climbed rocky cliffs at sunset. I paddled pristine mountain lakes, and I ran in a marathon. Everything I imagined brought a new level of high. One buzz led to another. I would not have reached those peaks of joy without my imagination. And I wouldn't have overhauled my entire brain for joy if I hadn't learned to shift my attention from thinking to feeling. I practiced in my mind a future where I could walk in pain-free, and I practiced those neural pathways over and over with such focus and passion that I learned a new way of being and physically began to step into it. Daily priming can change the way that we speak, act, even the course of our future. I wasn't trying to make those dreams come true, and I'm not giving you medical advice right now. You can see a doctor for that. I was allowing those dreams to carry me into joy in the moment. Because I'd come to realize that if I felt joy, then I'd be free from the pain. I'd be free in my heart and in my mind. Many of those dreams did come true, but that was just the beginning. Once I learned to feel into my dreams, so much more became possible. You know, I was talking with somebody recently about this, and they were talking about how they were wanting to prime to overcome the pain or get past the pain, and then they realized in that episode a few episodes back that actually they could just shift and prime something completely different and feel good, and that the pain would go away on its own, and things would catch up, like their body would catch up. And that's so true. I mean, I've heard so many people talk about healing their body with Dr. Joe Dispenza's work and other work where it's like joy related, that one day you're just like, oh yeah, that's right, I got into this because I had that pain, but I got into the joy when I got into this, and everything else changed. So when we're priming, we're not using our imaginations to force a future, but to feel into our dreams right now, to feel it. That felt experience is powerful, and it's where the magic begins. Welcome, friends. This is day 14 of Prime and Shine, 25 days to your best summer, 11 days to the finish line. But it's really just the beginning. You do know that, right? Whether you're a longtime Prime and Shiner or just tuning in for the first time today, you belong right here. Details on this free offering are in the link and in the description and the comments. This is transforming lives. You don't want to miss it. I'm Kristin Collier, a writer, coach, and fellow joy finder, and together we are rewiring our brains with a daily practice that sparks more joy, better health, and deeper, more connected relationships. Today's focus is letting your imagination become a doorway. Not to fantasy, but to the truth of what we feel, what we love, and who we really are. There is some science behind this. There's something wild and wonderful I want to tell you. Your brain can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. That's right. When you imagine using all of your senses, the feeling of ocean spray on your face, or the warmth of a long hug, it lights up all the parts of your brain that would light up if that thing was actually happening. Side note, imagine what worried is, right? So why does that happen? Because your nervous system doesn't actually need an external event to generate internal chemistry. Your thoughts and imagination stimulate emotions, and those emotions send chemical signals throughout your body, changing your physiology. That's real. That means you can practice joy. You can rehearse awe You can prime your body to feel safe, free, connected. Not by forcing circumstances to match, but by allowing your imagination to lead the way. Do you know how empowering that is to not have to rely on the circumstances around you, on people, place, and things to feel the joy, that you can access it in here when and how you want? That's why I'm here, y'all. So let's take the pressure off of imagination being a manifestation tool, because that gets sticky fast. When you're attached to making your wish come true, which kind of happens easily, more easily than you'd think in manifestation. When you're attached to making your wish come true, it activates the part of you that doubts, questions, clenches, and joy doesn't bloom in a clench, right? So instead, let's use I invite you to use what you imagine as a bridge. You don't need to believe in what you imagine, what you picture. You just need to explore how it feels. So imagine dancing in a warm summer rain, not to make it happen, but to feel free. Imagine hiking through a redwood forest, not to manifest the hike, but to feel adventurous. Imagine yourself on stage singing, not because you need applause, but because you love the feeling of courage, being heard, a sense of unity and connection. Let your imagination offer you feeling, not promises. And let that feeling guide you back to what matters. Here's what's key. The pictures are not the point. You don't have to cling to them or make them true. They're just a way to experience your values. They help you notice what you long for and how you could feel if that need were met. Now, I'm using the words needs and values interchangeably, kind of referencing back to the concept of universal needs from nonviolent communication. And this is one of the handouts that you get by registering for Prime and Shine, as I know it's backwards now, but it's a list of universal needs. And I've been naming a lot of them today as I've been talking with you. Adventure, peace, connection, freedom. These are like the core longings. It's not like ice cream and chocolate, which are amazing, but are actually strategies to meet those needs. It's ways to meet those needs. And we all have different ways to meet the same need for flavor, for example. And you know that because somebody likes, like scorpion peppers and somebody else is like, heck no, right? So there's a wide range. There's countless ways to meet a need, which is so cool, and why this practice of joy works, because when we feel into the joy of a need being met, of that sense of wholeness, when we feel into that in our life, that we let go of how it can be met in so many different ways. So we have way more possibility in meeting that need, because we don't go into the world like attached to this one thing. This is something that I teach in my weekly classes too, and we like go over it and over it, because honestly it takes a long time to sink into your brain. Our culture has different concepts of needs, of being needy or whatever, and what we're shifting from in this work with nonviolent communication, which is part of the foundation of my joy teaching, is to move from the place where we're demanding, where we're grasping something that's so important to us, a thing, a way of meeting a need, and shifting to, oh my gosh, I have this amazing need, this beautiful need inside of me. It's part of what makes me who I am, and I can meet it in countless ways, and I can take responsibility for that. And one of the ways that I can meet it is inside of myself, in my imagination. One of the ways, obviously doesn't work with food if you're truly, like starving or something, but with everything else, there are a lot of ways of meeting our needs inside. What's key here is that the images in your mind, your imaginings, are the vehicle, and feeling is the destination, because the point is to rewire your brain for the feeling. I mean, isn't it true that we spend a lot of our days stressed out because that is kind of the vibe of the culture? And it's very easy to plug into that. All you have to do is talk to somebody else or get up and scan your phone, right? And instead to rewire your brain for joy intentionally, doing this practice. And I know so many of you are here watching this just for this. Rewire, practice joy because everything else in your life follows. You can actually live a life by your own design when you can actually feel by your own design. It's stepping into so much more than just joy. It's stepping into empowerment and the ability to direct your life according to your soul's desire. So here's how we're going to do it in our meditation today, and then how we're going to do it. You can also expand to do this between meditations in your waking life, all right? This is how we're going to do it. First, we're going to playfully imagine what we want. There are no rules. Second, use all your senses to enjoy the feels in your imagination. Imagine what it smells like, that ocean spray. Imagine what it feels like on your face. Imagine what it sounds like. Be there for it. And then shift your attention to which needs are met. What tugs at your heart? What's underneath this? The ocean spray. Oh my gosh, connection to earth. Oh my gosh, belonging, right? So if you imagine yourself sailing with the wind in your face and in your hair, oh my gosh, that might be freedom or self-direction. Do you see how like there's a need underneath these things we imagine, and it just sings in my heart. So look for what you most value that's in that imagining. That's what nonviolent communication calls the universal need. Fourth, feel into that need. Come to life with it. Is it connection? Peace, love, understanding. Allow that value or need to reverberate the quality of it. Each one is different, right? Understanding that how that feels is really different from fun. Do you feel the difference? Oh my gosh. So allow that need to reverberate through your whole body. You're rewiring your brain, connecting with wholeness and joy in the sense of this need being met. We're going to do that in our priming meditation. Are you ready? Okay, in your think box today, choose a place to begin in your imaginings. Which part of your dreamy future are you going to play with today? If you're a seasoned primer, I invite you also to decide how to level up on this prime. Will you focus on feeling with a passion you haven't felt before? Really going for it. Really going for it. Just allowing with everything, allowing that all in, moving all the boxes away so your truest feelings can just come pouring through. Love that. Will you deepen your experience by breathing into it, by being aware of the breath and breathing into it? You decide what your learning edge is. We've talked about a lot of different tools to find your way into your optimal prime in the last 13 days, right? And if you're new here, you can go back and watch those videos. So you decide what your learning edge is and commit to showing up. All right. And without further ado, I invite you to pull over the car if you're driving and set down that electric toothbrush. Everybody's meditating safely here. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing that. And rest into the surface that is holding you. Noticing the sensation in your body where it meets that surface. Breathing into your belly. And on the exhale, relaxing and releasing any tension that is ready to move. Enjoying the breath flowing in and out. Enjoying your body's willingness and ability to carry you with the breath, gently, intentionally holding you, the breath flowing. Bring to mind something you're grateful for. Feeling into that gratitude. What need is met in what you're grateful for? Feel into that. How does it feel to have this need met? Enjoy it. Now bring to mind something from your sparkly summer or future, a sweet imagining, feeling into it with all of your senses. How does it look and sound? How does it feel to the touch? Breathe into this. Is there a smell with it? And how does it feel in your heart? What are the feelings inside of your body as you engage in this dreamy dream? So much joy. Come to life with all of those sensations inside and out. Now imagine what need is met in this imagining. What's important to you that happens? Is it connection? Play? Relaxation? Peace? Lean into that heartfelt sense of what is precious and what makes what you're imagining so special. And feel this need being met. Notice the sensations in your body as they move through your body. You're getting to know this need in its wholeness. Breathe into that. And if this need were met, what other need would be met? Feel into this need being met, the sensations of it. Feeling whole with this need in its fullness, just singing inside of you. Breathe into that. And now placing your hand on your heart, I invite you to feel grateful for your imaginings, for your body's willingness to partner with you and feel all that you're capable of imagining, that your body partners with you for bringing this to life within you, for a sense of empowerment, that you made the choice to show up today for this meditation, for this awakening, gratitude for this community and this opportunity to come more deeply into yourself. You know what you want. Grateful for you stepping onto that path of joy with all the parts of you. And when you are ready, bring your attention back to our circle. Did you find what you were looking for? I hope so. I did. So today's invitation is simple. Let your imagination stretch, but not to reach for a result, just to wake you up to your own joy. Let the imagery dance and flow and play. Noticing what these images evoke in you, what feelings they bring to life. Your imaginings are stepping stones to more expansive feelings, and those feelings will birth wilder dreams, bigger ideas all day long. More will come to you. You will see. Practicing 25 days, you will get a sense of this in a row. Compound interest, it comes. The more you practice joy in priming, the more you'll practice joy after your prime. Feel rather than force. That's the discovery path for joy. That's how you'll find what matters. Let that be your point of alignment. Remember, it's not too late to join us if you haven't already for the free Prime and Shine experience. Check out the link in the description and the comments. Your registration gets you a tutorial on the priming meditation, principle practices, and a live group coaching session on Zoom. And if this episode resonated, drop a comment below. Tell me what lit you up. There's a whole community of primers waiting to hear your story. I so enjoyed in the group coaching session yesterday hearing people's stories, and especially those that talked about practicing priming here on Prime and Shine, and after practicing some days, really finding joy they hadn't felt in so many years. That is awe-inspiring to me. That is the reason why I get up early and stay up late to join you here, because I see the difference. And I hope it's the reason why you do the same, to see and feel the difference in you. And I thank you for sharing this video with a friend who you think could use the lift. You don't have to make anything happen. You just have to feel it happen and let that joy lead you home. See you tomorrow, sparkly friend.